Hey, what's up my YouTube friends? Welcome to the We All Juggle Knives channel. So I have 4 new fixed blades to show you. A lot of big steel to get to, so let's just get right into it. Maybe I'm a little weird, but I find this shot to be pretty exciting in definitely a more than just friends type of way. So here we have an epic Lengren bowie. Some people have called it the Lengren Trailmaster. Well, you know, this is a classic blade shape, so I believe this blade shape resembles that of a great many knives. Demo this edge. Good job, Langren. 9.17 inches in blade length, 15.08 inches overall length, 6 millimeters thick, 18.34 ounces in weight. It is Slampner steel, and it's got G10 and a Kydex sheath. It's $118 on US Amazon. This is the sheath that it came with. It's got slots and eyelets all around. It is Kydex. It has a belt loop right there. It has a retaining strap here. It is molded. It holds it in. There's no rattle. Alright, so that's the sheath. Full flat grind, right, for shearing cuts or shearing chops as well. A nice guard. You see the texture on the handle there. There's a lanyard hole. I mean, with that steel at that hardness, it's going to have a lot of toughness and edge retention. Yeah, but this thing is a beauty, definitely. I just spent like an hour cleaning off my entire review table. I had multi-tools, I had flashlights that I had reviewed, some batteries. I cleaned it all off because this video has some big steel, right? Big knives. I wanted room to show everything, right? Now, speaking of the Trailmaster, here is my Trailmaster. Now, this is an older model. I believe they've changed the steel and increased the price like a lot since I purchased mine many years ago. But, yeah, Trailmaster Classic. Awesome. All right, now, because of the lighting, I have to hold this so that you can see it better. Okay, so now you can see them better. Right, so that's the comparison. You can still buy the current Trailmaster. Like I said, the Trailmaster has increased a lot in price since I purchased mine. I might do a full review of this in the future. I think it's earned a full review. I'll have to see how many other people have reviewed it, because it might already be a known quantity. But I've got such a backlog of knives to show you. That's one reason I'm doing this. I'm showing 4 knives in one video. This type of video actually gets more views than my full reviews, because I believe it's because if a person sees even one knife in the thumbnail they're interested in, they click on the video, so it just casts a wider net. Anyway, thank you all for those views and all the views. So here we have the WPK Dehong tool hunting knife. Yeah, that knife looks pretty psycho. I mean, it's got a recurve. Oh, it's got a 10-inch blade length. 15.8 inches overall length, 5 millimeters thick, 14.88 ounces. It is 440C steel. It's got a nylon fiber composite handle scales. Comes with a leather sheath. The price on this fluctuates wildly. I purchased mine for $35 when it was on sale. And at the sale price, I feel it was a good deal. Right, this is a large knife, right? Big. It's almost more like a mini machete. I was surprised. In fact, the reason this paper is missing that corner is because I just did a little test before I turned the camera on, because I thought, since it's a fairly inexpensive blade, I thought it might not be that sharp. It's actually very sharp. Surprising. Right, for $35 knife. It actually came very sharp right out of the box. Well, now this is a large blade. Because it has a short handle, it might not look as big as it is, but it's actually larger than that Langren, this Langren, right, in the same video. It's actually, the blade length is slightly longer than this, and this thing is a big blade too. So yeah, this is big steel for a reasonable price when it's on sale. It's kind of down and dirty Mad Max. Here is the sheath that it came with. It is stitched leather. It's got a strap right there. It's semi-open. It's got a retaining strap there, a belt loop there, but all in all, you know, no Kydex. This is not really considered a tactical sheath, but I suppose, you know, because this was $35, they had to, you know, they had to save some costs somewhere, but that is the sheath that it came with. So now that I know this thing is sharp, and given the reach on this, I'm definitely going to slay some bottles with it in the future. But I do recommend this as the budget pick for this video. If you need big steel for low price, if you can find this at the sale price, which I'm sure by the time the holidays roll around, they'll put it back on the sale price. So yeah, I feel like I got an excellent deal on this. It's pretty badass. It's a little bit of Mad Max, a little bit of Zombie Killer, but 440C is a solid choice at this price range, and well, I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Now here we have a badass knife. The brand here is Backor. It comes with that fire steel. This is a beauty. Look at the sweep of that blade. It is sharpest at this part, or at least that's the easiest part to tag the paper. And I'm glad I picked this up, definitely. This is another of those items that I had been eyeing for a while. The Backor hunting knife. 8 inches in blade length, 14.4 inches overall length, 6 millimeters thick. The weight is 1.14 pounds. The steel is 9CR18 MOV, stainless steel, 58 HRC, and you got G10, and you got a Kydex sheath. The current price in the US, $112. I just want it on the record that I was into Backor before they were cool. If you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you might remember that I reviewed one of their first knives that was actually a big hit in America. They had a knife that was a competitor to my beloved BK9. But it was like half the price. So I reviewed it, and since that time, Backor has gotten pretty big. They've definitely proven themselves. I don't know about you, but I don't plan to cut like thick rope 1,000 times with a knife like this. I feel like the purpose of this knife, it has 3. Number 1, this would be a monster at slicing brisket, slicing ribs. I think it's a little too pretty. I don't think they meant it as a butcher knife, but you could butcher things with it, right? So slicing up meat. Number 2, a Marshall blade, a slicing and piercing machine with a lot of reach. Yeah, this would be nasty, nasty as a Marshall blade. And number 3, collectible. It comes with this molded Kydex sheath with eyelets here, and it has leather accents. It has a retaining strap there, has a loop there. That's the sheath. It holds it very securely. Has a place to push off of. You know, you need this, your wife needs this, your grandpa needs this. As I have a viewer named Mike, as Mike always says, it's perfect for church on Sunday. All right, I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Yeah, this knife doesn't really have a name. They just call it the EF170, but I'm going to go ahead and nickname it the Eafengrow Eagle, or just the Effin' Eagle. 8.3 inches blade length, 13.3 inches overall length, 6 millimeters thick, 21.8 ounces. The steel is DC53, G10, and you got a Kydex sheath. It's got those saw teeth looking things there, and it just looks like it wants to murder someone. Why does it look like that? Well, with regard to the sawback looking feature, I believe they're trying to make the knife resemble old school knives like the Tops Steel Eagle. If you remember, Tops had a series called the Steel Eagle, and they had many different blade lengths, including like a big ass one, but the Steel Eagle famously, it had like a sawback on the back, right? And since that time, many companies that make very expensive knives have come up with that same look, right? So I don't think they're trying to be cute. They're not trying to make a Rambo knife. This is actually mimicking much more expensive knives. This is the sheath that it came with. It's got eyelets all around. It is Kydex. It is molded. It holds it in. It has a Tech-Lock looking belt loop right there. So that's the sheath. All right, YouTube, my battery ran out of charge, but I had a spare. You have failed me for the last time until I recharge you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here's a close-up of this. Now, 6 millimeters thick at the spine, but look how thick that is, right? It's flat right here up to this bevel, and then you have, would you call this a fuller? I mean, it's a very shallow kind of stylized fuller. And it's basically like a murderous spike. You know, they've purposely kind of overbuilt this. I mean, nice red liners there, but look how thick that is. Yeah, it's integrated guard. This thing is a beast. I mean, this is sort of like, it's sort of like meant to be a doomsday knife or just like indestructible knife. Perhaps not the most practical thing, but still, I understand why they made it. So this is a sharpened pry bar, a pointy pry bar murder spike. I'm glad I picked it up. More of a collectible, you know, a collectible Marshall blade, a death spike, but I hope you enjoyed seeing it. If you're the type of person that enjoys seeing items like this regularly in your feed, subscribe to me if you are not already subscribed. All right, this has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.